Factorising trinomials where the leading coefficient is not a 1 is more complicated than what we saw in the previous exercise. We're going to look at two methods today, the cross method and the product sum factor method. There are other methods, but they're the ones that we're going to be looking at for the moment. So if we're asked to factorise 3x squared plus 17x plus 10, we can't simply go, oh, the factors of 10 are 10 and 1 and 5 and 2, and then make 17 using those factors, because we have this extra term here that needs to be considered, the 3. So what we do is we draw a cross underneath, and the cross starts and ends at our first and last term, and then we factorise those two terms. So factors of 3x squared, pretty simple, there aren't a lot, it's 3x and x. Then we look at factors of 10, so as we said, the factors of 10, 10 and 1, or 5 and 2. But when we combine them with the 3x and x, we also come up with two different combinations. We could have 3x and 10, or we could have x with 10. So when we write it out, we have 10 and 1, but then we also have 1 and 10. And there's 2 and 5, or 5 and 2. And then what we do is multiply along the cross and try and come up with a combination that will give us 17x. So if we go 3x times 1 and then x times 10, well, that gives me 3x and 10x, and that's not going to work. And you keep going like that. So 3x times 10, 30x, x times 1 is x. There's no way I can get 17 with that. So 3x and 5 is 15x, x and 2 is 2x, 15x and 2x, well, there's no winning combination. So I need this pair and I need this pair. So what that then tells us is that our factors are 3x plus 2, because we go across, 3x goes with 2, and x plus 5. Now whenever you're factorising this, you should check, okay? So to check, we're going to multiply out and make sure that the factors we found work and give us back our original trinomial. So we multiply out 3x plus 2, x plus 5, we get 3x squared plus 15x plus 2x plus 10, which simplifies down to 3x squared plus 17x plus 10, and we know we've got it right. So let's have a look at another example. If I've got 6x squared plus x minus 15. So write your cross, then start factorising. So the factors of 6x squared, 3x and 2x, or 6x and x, and the factors of negative 15. Now because we have a product of negative 15, we know that one of these numbers is going to be negative, but we don't know which one. It's very easy to put that negative in once we've figured out where it's supposed to go. So for now, I'm going to write it without the negative, and then I'll put it in when I know. Otherwise, I'm going to end up having 8 possibilities. 5, negative 5, 3, negative 3, 15, negative 15, 1, negative 1. Looks way too complicated. So once you've got all your factors down, you start multiplying. 3x times 3, 9x, 2x times 5, 10x. 10x and 9x. Can I make x out of 10x and 9x? Obviously I can. If I do 10x minus 9x, I end up with my x. So we need 9x to be negative. So my negative is going to go in front of the 3. And there I have my combination. So the factors of 6x squared plus x minus 15 are 3x plus 5, remember we go across, and 2x minus 3. Now again, check. So when I multiply those two factors out, I get back to the expression I started with, and I know that I have factorised correctly. So the next method is called the PSF method. P is the product of the first and last term of your trinomial, S is for the sum, which is the middle term, and F is for the factors of P that give S. So we're looking for factors of the product that give the sum. So it's similar to the first method we looked at when the leading coefficient was a 1, and we just had to look for factors of the constant, but in this case we have to multiply the constant by the leading coefficient. So if we go back to our first example, 3x squared plus 17x plus 10, we talked about the fact that the factors of 10 are 5 and 2 and 10 and 1, and we can't make 17 out of that. And the reason for that is that we need to consider this 3. So, first thing you do is work out P, the product of the first and last term, 3 times 10, so our product is 30x squared. The S is the sum of the middle term, so that's 17x. And F means factors of P that make S. So what are the factors of 30x squared that make 17x? So 30x squared has a lot of factors, but hopefully it's pretty easy for you to tell that the factors for 30x squared that are going to make 17x are 15x and 2x. Once you've got those factors, you then rewrite your initial trinomial. So 3x squared plus 17x plus 10, we then break the 17x up into the 15x and 2x because they're the factors that we need in order to factorize this trinomial. So we now have 3x squared plus 15x plus 2x plus 10. It means the same thing, we haven't changed it, we've just split the middle term up. And what that allows us to do is then factorize by grouping our trinomial in pairs. So, common factor of 3x squared plus 15x would be 3x, leaving me with x plus 5. And the common factor of 2x plus 10 would be 2, so leaving me with x plus 5. Well, now I have a common factor of x plus 5 outside of 3x plus 2, which is the same answer we got using the cross method. Okay, so now let's have another example. 5a squared plus 7a minus 6. So the product of 5a squared minus 6 is minus 30a squared. The sum that we're looking for is 7a. So what are the factors of minus 30a squared that are going to give us 7a? So 15 and 2 aren't going to work this time. Now we're looking at 10a and minus 3a. Now rewrite it. So it's 5a squared plus 10a minus 3a minus 6. Group in your pairs. First common factor is 5a. That leaves us with a plus 2. And then the next one, my common factor is minus 3. And again, leaving me with a plus 2. So again, I take out my common factor of a plus 2. And that leaves me with 5a minus 3. So let's remember to check. So when I expand those brackets and then simplify, I get back to 5a squared plus 7a minus 6. So that's what you need to be able to attempt exercise 210. Now in this one, I want you to do all of the questions. Cannot emphasize enough how important being able to factorize is in this course. Good luck, and I'll see you in class.